aware of the bonds that were created today. When you told me that sure there's a way. The water's so still and my pain has gone away. The air is much cleaner after it rains.
So I can't even tell you what happened. I have no idea. But I have flown over the past 4.5 years at least, I would guess, 100 times over water with my drones. Ever since I got my Mavic Pro, I love to fly over water because we go to the lake, we go camping, we go fishing, we go boating all of the time. And I fly my drones all the time over the water, and I've never had a problem until today. Today I lost my Air 2S, and I'm not sure why. Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. If this happens to be your first time here, my name is Russ, this is 51 Drones, and if you get any value from this video or find anything of interest here on the channel, I ask you to consider subscribing. So we are on a family vacation right now. We are at Lake Sakakawea State Park in North Dakota. It is one of our favorite places to come. They do a really good job here at the state park. The lake is awesome. The fishing is okay. Maybe that's our fault. And just everything is awesome here. So we decided to go out swimming today. The beaches here are really low right now because we're in an extreme drought and the water level is super low. So the beaches around the park are not very good. So what we decided to do is hop in the boats, and we drove about 10 or 15 minutes away, and we found a nice sandy shoreline and just decided to go swimming and just floating in the floaties and just having a good time. It's 98 degrees today. I probably look like crap, and I don't care. I wanted to do this video right away while it was still fresh in my memory. So please excuse that I really didn't get myself ready for this video. But anyway, we were having some fun, just swimming, having fun. And then some of the family decided to go tubing. So they took one of the boats out and they took some guys out and went on the tube. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to put up my Air 2S and get some great footage. It's really fun to record boats while they're on the water because it's dynamic, it's got good scenery. It's one of my favorite things to do. And like I said, I've done it like 100 times. So what I was doing, I flew through 2 batteries. I depleted 2 batteries and then I brought it back home and I was going to be done for the day. But then I thought, you know what? I'm getting really good at flying manually. I use intelligent flight modes as much as I can, but I want to get better at flying manually. And there's nothing better than following a boat that is, you don't know which way the boat's going to go. So if you're fortunate enough to have a family member or a friend or whatever that has a boat, and if you can get the drone out there and just tell them to go drive around the lake and see how you can perfect your manual flying skills, because it really does make a difference. Like I was getting better just today flying my drone, trying to keep the right angles on the boat, and just in those 2 batteries time. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep practicing. So I put in my 3rd battery, I put the drone up, I started flying out to where they were, and they were pretty far away. They were like 800 feet away. And I still had visual line of sight. I know some of the drone police are going to say, well, you must have lost visual line of sight. And yes, I did. I lost visual line of sight. Guess what? It happens. So get over it. But I tried to get my visual line of sight back. And so what I was doing, I was out there and I was trying to locate the drone. So what I was doing is I was rotating the drone a little bit because I had visual line of sight up until the last like 10 seconds. I'm like, okay, I don't see my drone anymore. And I couldn't see on the screen because it is 98 degrees today. My iPhone screen went dark. I'm probably going to get a smart controller because of this incident. But the screen went dark because it gets too hot. When your iPhone gets too hot, it dims the screen. And I could barely see anything on the screen. So I couldn't see where I was on the screen. I couldn't see my drone because I lost visual line of sight. So I was going to bring it back closer so I could see my drone. And what I did is I hit the forward stick and I was at 17 feet. So I knew I had plenty of altitude above the water. It was a pretty still day. The water was pretty glare. There was a lot of glare in the water, but I was 17 feet up, and that's what I had been flying. I was flying at like 20 feet on those previous 2 batteries. So I was 17 feet, about 800 feet away, and I was going to fly, and I pushed ahead on the stick, and the obstacle avoidance sensors went off immediately, and they started beeping. I'm like, oh crap. And so I pushed up on the stick to go up. The obstacle avoidance still did not quit beeping, and the next thing I know, it said aircraft disconnected. And I thought, well, maybe I just lost signal. And I waited a little bit and nothing happened. And then I thought, probably in the water right now. And so what I did is I did find my drone, clicked on that, and it showed last location out in the middle of the lake, and apparently it went in the water. So I don't know exactly what happened, but here's what I think happened. I did not turn off the downward obstacle, the downward vision sensors. And when you fly over water, especially still water with a lot of reflection, the downward sensors get confused if you get too close to the water. And I knew that. I've made a video on that before, like 3 years ago. So I know what to do. I just didn't do it today. And that's my advice for you guys right now to learn from this experience. Number one, make a checklist and follow that checklist every single time. I did not follow my checklist today because I was in a hurry. I wanted to get them boating out there. And all I did is I just put in my drone and I didn't do my checklist. I have a little notebook and I have a checklist. I go through it every time. And you should have a separate checklist for flying over water, because when you fly over water, you need to turn off those downward vision sensors because they will get confused. You can leave them on, but I definitely would not go below 30 feet altitude above the water. I would stay 30 feet or higher above that water if you're not going to turn them off. But turn them off, because look what happens. I thought I was 17 feet. That's the only thing I could think that happened. Maybe there was a bird. There could have been a bird, but we didn't see any birds in the vicinity. You know, I think when we first got there was a couple of seagulls flying around, but that's a possibility. I couldn't see it on the screen. I wish I would have had my screen recorder on, because I could at least lighten it up and see if maybe that was the case. Maybe I hit a bird, but I don't think so. I think what happened is it showed that I was at 17 feet high, but I actually was not at 17 foot altitude. I think I was probably lower than that, because when I lowered the drone, you know, to get to the altitude that I had been flying at before, I think maybe it just went down below 17 feet. I think it went to 0 feet, and as soon as I went forward, it just hit a wave, and then that was it. So maybe a bird, probably the vision sensors. Also, the GPS signal was not very good. I had enough satellites to get home point locked in when I launched from the shore. So it said home point locked, so I know that I had enough. So that could have been another thing. So if you learn anything from this, don't be afraid to fly over water, guys. I know it's really scary, especially if you've never done before, and don't, because it's some of the best flying that you will ever get. It's some of the best footage that you'll ever get. It looks really cool, but don't get too close to the water. That's all I can tell you. And turn off your downward vision sensors. And even if you have them off, I still wouldn't get too low, you know, too close to the surface of the water. So I did get a little bit of footage before this happened, but of course it's on the card. I'm really gonna miss this drone. I love the Air 2S. It's not the best drone out there, but for me, the 5.4K at 30 frames per second is awesome. The 4K at 60 footage looks incredible. The video quality of the Air 2S is great. I use the Mavic 2 Pro for all my commercial type stuff just because it has all of the sensors and I like that security, but I'm really gonna miss this drone. And I'm probably not going to get another one, because I'm hoping that the Mavic 3 is coming soon, and that's going to be that'll be the drone. Like, that'll be the drone. So, yeah, it sucks to lose a drone, especially when it's out of stupidity, out of not going through the process of your checklist. If I would have done my checklist, I would still have my Air 2S right now, and it pisses me off. And so do that. You guys, I know it's easy not to, but make a checklist every single time you launch your drone. So I hope I gave you some information of value today. If I did, hit the thumbs up. Comment down below, why do you think I lost my Air 2S? We did try to find it. We tried to mark it with my brother's graph. We went out there with the boat, and it's where we went over the water. It was about 25 feet, 30 feet, 35 feet, and then all of a sudden, bam, 91 feet, right where the drone is. So it couldn't be better. Like, worse, I should say. It couldn't be worse, because the drone, if it would have been 20, maybe 30 feet to the south, it would only be in 20 feet of water, and we could probably graph it, because he has one of the best hummingbird graphs, and we could probably graph it and try to fish it out. But I mean, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it on the imaging, but at 91 feet, we can't see it. So it's gone forever. I'm not going to hire a scuba diver. I mean, it's not worth it. The price of the scuba diver is going to be more than the value of the drone. So, but yeah, it sucks. I did get a little bit of footage cached on my phone, so I probably will show some of that, and then I'll probably won't edit this until Sunday or Monday. So I'm gonna put some of that B-roll on top. If the video quality is poor, that's why. So my video quality is poor. I look poor, but sorry. But we're having fun. We're having a great time. I'm mostly sad that I can't fly. I had plans to do one more video on the Air 2S, but I can't do that now. So I'm kind of disappointed about that, and I'm really gonna miss that footage that's on that card. I really want that footage because it's super good. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, and as always, fly safe and fly smart.
I'm a wanderer of the soul. Before the end, I plan to behold, but I know I'll lose myself along the way. What's gone is gone. What's past is past.